In today's video, I show you this dice tower from Mythic Games. But before we get into that, I want to share with you what the GGGG is for this month. Each month, Bob the Beholder picks some of my Patreon supporters to receive gratitude gifts. And for this month of March of 2022, we actually have this printed and painted dice tower set that is going to be given to one of my Patreon supporters, as well as 2 all-in late pledges for the Mythic Roll Kickstarter that happened last fall. We have 2 all-in pledges for Flatline City Second Wave. We have 2 all-in pledges for League of Dungeoneers. We have a Yarrow Studios Battle Map book. And finally, $100 to go towards a crowdfunder, which the Patreon supporters will be voting upon. If you want to find out more information, go ahead and use the link below to go to my Patreon page and get in on that. So when Mythic Games did have their Kickstarter for their dice towers, I did create a video featuring the Elven set, which was also the GGGG of that month. If you want to check out that video, go ahead and click here. And Mythic Games has been producing and releasing all of their sets as they go along. And currently they just released this set here, the really unique combo of a Viking theme combined with an Aztec pyramid. So I don't think you're ever going to find any such combination anywhere else, but I asked for this file to be printed out when they reached out to me because I wanted to create a set, a dice rolling set that matched my 3D printed one-page rules Lizard Man army. If you haven't seen that video, go ahead and make sure to check it out here. But I wanted something that I could use while I was playing this army. And this fits really well, even though the Viking theme doesn't necessarily have any crossover, but I just love the idea, the creative idea of mashing these 2 themes that you usually don't see together. I do have a painting tutorial at the end of the video, so if you are interested, this was a super easy paint job. Whenever you're painting up sand or pyramids, or in this case, these Aztec ruins, really, it's just one coat. Check out the links below if you want to go to the painting tutorial. So this thing did print really cleanly, no issues, no problems. I haven't ever had any issues printing or any failures printing out Mythic Rolls files. And sure enough, this printed out, at least on my Prusa, it's too tall to print as one piece. So I did print these separately. You do have an option of printing it all out at once if you want. But for my printer, I had to do it in 2 pieces. Now, and then this base also prints separately as well. And then this dice box also is 2 pieces. I print at 0.2 millimeter height, and that is plenty of detail for most of my terrain. Normally, I would go ahead and just glue this on here, but because this is one of the GGGGs, I am going to be shipping this, and that's why I'm keeping it separate. But I do just say there really isn't much reason to keep these things separated, so go ahead and glue it on when you have the chance. And as always, this thing works really well as a dice holder, a matching decorative dice holder, but also when you're rolling dice. So this works super well and looks really, really cool. You can actually use it as a terrain element on the board at the same time if you would like, and that's one of the things that I really like about Mythic Roll's dice tower sets, is that they can actually function as actual pieces. And in fact, you can take it off the base if you want, and that will also be a good standalone terrain piece on the board too. In the late all-in pledge, they do have 34 pieces, and all of the dice tower sets do have the matching dice box, which I think just is a nice little addition just to be consistent thematically, and that you can have 2 terrain pieces on the board at the same time. So make sure you check out the link below to go to their page in order to do a late pledge. Additionally, there is this super cool ghost ship, which I am looking forward to. Once that comes out, I will be producing another video, but that looks really, really cool and awesome as well. So check out their page and see if there is anything that you are interested in, and get in on the group that is slowly receiving the files as they're being released. Thanks to Mythic Roll for sending these out and for providing the pledges for my Patreon supporters. Just really grateful for the collaboration. Stick around if you are interested in the painting tutorial. Otherwise, happy printing, happy gaming. We'll see you next time. Quick note, I do make significant changes to my color scheme. So make sure you check out the end of the video if you're following along with the paint tutorial. For example, I end up painting these colors black for the mustache and replacing the orange with this turquoise color. So I sprayed it with a base coat of this Rust-Oleum 2x Ultra Cover Satin Nutmeg. Now the only issue with this is that it isn't entirely flat. This is in satin finish, which can still get shiny. So I did apply some of this Rust-Oleum Dead Flat, which is my go-to varnish spray. And as you can tell here, because I sprayed at an angle, the underneath is still black because I do print in black PLA like this. And so it provides some natural shading, which I don't mind. And because I'm having those darker undertones, I will be able to forego the wash step and just dry brush most of this. So we'll go ahead and do that. So I'm going to use Fawn from Americana. If you don't have this brand, just go ahead and use a beige colored like this. And I'm going to use my stiff hog's hair brush, and because we're doing everything, use a pretty large size brush to do that quickly. And pretty much just dry brush everything with this color because you're just lighting the whole thing a lighter color like this, and what you're getting is sort of a sandy color, but leaving the recesses, the darker tan. You want to do the pyramid as well. So that's generally the effect you're going for. So here are some 4 bright colors that I am choosing to paint the next step, but you can choose any colors that you want. I'm just picking some brighter ones, just trying to follow some Aztecan styles, and these are the colors that I chose, but you can pick whatever. You'll notice that I'm not coloring fully, but actually leaving some of the tan underneath showing through, and that basically gives it a little bit of a weathered effect rather than filling in everything with these colors. So you can definitely do that if you want a more cleaner look, but I like things looking more weathered, so I'm leaving some of the grain underneath and the texture underneath. Now, taking a look at this, I think it's lacking in contrast, so I think I'm going to switch out the hair for black and then put white in the horns, and that should provide more contrast to these colors. You know what, I don't like the orange because it's too close to the gold color, so I'm going to change all of these orange spots to the blue instead. Yeah, I think that blue looks a lot better. Just painted the turquoise blue as the roof, and then just the different colors here on the faces, but most of this is just the gold accenting some of the trim pieces.